All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. I don't have another lead in as good as last week. I do not. But I am here with my
Yeah, I didn't know.
guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the multi-time flag football champion. My guy, Daniel, what is going on?
What's up, man? You
Same,
know,
same old, same old.
uh, we were just talking about it. Basketball went dwindling down. You
Man,
really about to see what me and Carr about to cook up in the next.
there's a
Tune in
reason
to the next one.
I left something off specifically because we're gonna have to talk about it later. But I want to spin off of that into the schedule just came out. The NFL schedule came out.
Right, right.
I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
schedule is the schedule. It doesn't to me it's not like I don't believe in schedule wins and schedule losses. I think that's silly. You know what I mean?
No. Alcohol. I mean, I was excited for it because I'm excited for football. It's like, oh, okay,
Yes.
I'm a day closer to football. So, but I mean, it's good. I guess it's good conversation about football and long and like projecting the future based on like the draft and free agency and things like that. So I think that's what it is. And then just like, okay, what team got a light back end of the schedule? If they get hot at the end of the year,
Yep.
they might can sneak in. So I mean, you get good conversation out of those things. But those is what the real football players talk about. I don't know what the casuals talk about when the schedule comes out. Like, I guess the Thanksgiving takeover in Dallas. That's what they more worried about.
Oh
Like
yeah.
kicking it in Dallas
Well,
for the
even not even the
game.
casuals. Even just hearing like because people are talking about the Chiefs. Oh, it's front loaded. Oh, they opened up with the.
The
My
Chargers.
real problem was just hearing that part of like we're
Uh,
all. I didn't want to take the schedule because we can talk about the schedule next week when there's less basketball and all that,
right,
and I can actually sit with it and look through like it's 32 fucking teams. It's gonna take a
right.
minute to pay attention to everybody's schedule, but um the
Already been looking.
yeah, I've been looking through it, but it's like, yeah, it's not enough time. One day is not enough time to really like for me to look at this shit and have a take or anything. But
Right.
uh, it's already happening. We're already. I wanted
Yeah.
to just bring up. We're already here. Well, look at the Chiefs' schedule. How can they? How can they have a good record next
How can
year?
they? Right. It's
Their
just like
offensive
once
line's
again.
poor, and they play the Chargers in Brazil. How can they win? Like, okay, guys,
And then they got the Eagles, the Ravens, and then they got to back it up with the. It's
how
like
many times do we have to? How many times are we gonna do
it's
this?
because you know why? Because one year down the road, everybody's gonna be right, and then everybody can
Yeah.
say "told you so." But it's just like nigga,
It's so many
you
years in a
was
row to
wrong 10 years in a
we
row.
5 years in a row
The-
of this shit, bro. Like,
the- no, we're
damn.
actually how long has Mahomes been in the league?
Well,
We're not. That's how long in a row
well, after
we've
the
been
MVP
like
season, I feel like I'll give people a pass. After the MVP season, they everybody was like, well, they're the next up. So I always
right.
counted 2020. Once they went to that Super Bowl, it was like, well, they can't do it again, can they? Oh, they can't. They can't do it again, right?
They do it
Wait.
again, right?
They
And
can't do
then
it 3, 4 times, right? They can't be this good
you
five
can't go
seasons
to
in a
five
row.
out of the last six.
No way. Not seven. It's like,
Look,
well,
and I think it's more of. I think it's more of they don't think Josh and Lamar is not going to go a whole career without making it to at least
yeah.
one. So I think that's another factor as well. Like, well, these guys got to get over the slump one of these days, right? So it's
I
just like, why not
mean,
this year? Why not? I mean,
how
because
many times did
we
Drew
talked about
Brees
it
do
before,
it? How many times did Peyton
right?
Manning did
Right.
it? 3 times? It's
In
not
20 years,
in
right?
20. Yeah,
It's not.
you think how many times
But
Aaron Rodgers
we
do it?
had this
Once?
conversation already. We had this conversation already.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like there's one pantheon quarterback in every generation, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else got to fight for one or two, maybe three appearances.
Yep.
Like look at Peyton Manning, how great he was. He went to three.
Unless it's the 70s. The 70s was just
Right.
like, hey, we're just gonna pass this motherfucker around every 4 years. Somebody's gonna win 3 out of 4. We're just gonna keep passing this shit around.
Except the Bills, y'all can
Yeah,
go four in a
damn.
row and not win one. Like, but
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
like the
rough.
'80s,
That was
right?
90s. Yeah,
'84.
90s.
That was 90s.
Jim
But
Kelly and all them. I
right.
mean, yeah, look
But
at
yeah,
John
so
Elway. John Elway won a Super Bowl at the very end of his career, and he was like an all-time great. Dan Marino never
right.
made it. So it's not like this
Well,
is like
some
a
of you,
far-fetched thing for like somebody Somebody might not make it. Like one of the top 4 right now is probably not going to ever get to a Super Bowl. That's the reality.
Right. It is reality, and it sucks because that's gonna always be the the argument for one of them. Is like, man, if he won a Super Bowl, or what was his legacy be? If even with a Super Bowl appearance,
Yeah.
like,
Changes
and then
it.
you always get these straggler quarterbacks who always make it to 2 and win 1, like Jalen Hurts. Like, just like he's one of those. Like, it's always like an Eli Manning who won 2
just
within
random.
the Brady era. Just like, how the hell did Eli Manning out of every quarterback got 2 Super Bowls?
Boy. That's why I think I think Trevor Lawrence is a good candidate to be Eli Manning in a few years. If they just realize, like, hey, let's just build the defense. Like we keep giving him shit, more and more and more shit, and he's just not doing nothing with it. But that was the point I wanted to bring up. Just we're here already. It's May. We can't even make it to training camp before it's like, well, the Chiefs can't be good again, can they? Like, it's mid-May. Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, which division opponent we're gonna pick that's gonna win the division this year? And it's like, oh, some people think the Chargers. Oh, some people think the Raiders are frisky. I personally think it's the Broncos. If I had to choose one of the 3,
that's fair.
I personally think it's the Broncos because, one, offensively they wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Bo Nix got another year to get better, and then nobody see they free agency pickups for defense, or did that just run out of the people's mind? They got the 49ers defense damn near now.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
So I was like, are y'all not? I was like, okay, well, a lot of y'all think the Broncos are gonna be mid. I think they might sneak into the playoffs again, which they did last year with a worse team, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's. We're just in a weird time. We're in a time people thought there was going to be parity. People thought that the NFL when Tom Brady left was going to be how the NBA is right now, where any team
everybody
can get in. Yeah, everybody has a chance, but it's not. It's not that. It's the opposite. It's more like when Michael Jordan left and it was like, well, guess what we have? You get 2 choices.
LeBron.
No, well, 3 choices. You get the Spurs, the Lakers, and LeBron. Which one? Like, that's all you're finna get for the next 30 years after Jordan retires. You get 3. And then Steph Curry sprinkled in there a little bit at the end.
Well, he sprinkled in there pretty much. He got 5, don't he? He's sprinkled in there. He's probably in there, too. So
that's fair. Yeah, Curry's in there. But I just mean directly in the 2000s, like early 2000s.
Oh, you talking about just directly after Michael?
Yeah, that shit lasted
Spurs, Lakers,
20 years. And then at the end, it's like, here's some Steph Curry and LeBron still.
Like, right. You still watching LeBron.
Yeah, you still watching LeBron. We'll just give you a little light-skinned dude to cheer for.
We're just going to change the game a little bit.
He's just going to start shooting this bitch from the other side of the court. From the opposite three-point line. But yeah, that's what the NFL thought this was going to be, and it's not. We got one guy, kind of another dynasty, doing it again. It does kind of suck hearing that there's a fucking documentary coming out that's going to end in a loss. That shit's going to fucking suck. It's going to hurt.
Oh, you talking about the one they do every year?
No. They let me look it up.
I seen something about. I thought it was just a normal Chiefs franchise documentary they do.
I think it's ESPN. It's a documentary with ESPN, Disney Plus
for the Chiefs.
Yeah, a multi-part docuseries on the Kansas City Chiefs, documenting the franchise's storied history and the remarkable. Oh, they cut off.
So basically a glimpse of how we was back in the '60s and '70s,
leading up
and
to
then
the dynasty
all
now.
of Patrick Mahomes' life.
Yep, and then ends with the loss in the Super Bowl this year. Which sounds...
So my boy Alex Smith gonna be in there?
Oh, yes. Oh, man, I cannot... Oh, now that you say that's a great point.
I'm watching this just for Alex. Just for Alex. Alex, you get my view.
That is a great point, bro. Oh, man, like, to watch that section...
Let's see what happened behind closed doors that everybody thought that hated Alex. Maybe he can turn y'all for heads a little bit. Like, oh, Alex really... Do you think that that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be the first. That feels so fitting. I'm gonna try with all my might to get Alex Smith to come do this fucking podcast.
I am going to put all
That
my
man got his
effort.
NFL Network deal. He gonna cost a boatload. Just
I'm
tell him
gonna
I'm his
try
biggest
so
fan.
hard. Yeah,
I think, to be honest, I really think I am. I don't think
hey,
nobody back Alex
you might
Smith
be
up as
shit.
much as I do.
Cause you know what? To be honest, I feel like we bring him up so much because it means a lot to us. Like either way, like me talking shit and you being the super fan part. But like we have to like if you have a word count of how many times we've said Alex Smith, this show like our show has to have said it the most of all time out of any fucking show ever,
Right.
right?
Even when he was playing.
Yeah, like yeah, we gotta be up there towards the top. But
Probably because we compared a lot of average quarterbacks in this league.
yeah,
And
we use him as like the barometer, like you put like when he,
the
like when you
pantheon of
test
average,
paint.
just like it's Alex Smith.
Have you ever tested like wall paint, like paint like for a house or something? And you put them next to each other in the light. You like this one kind of
But
looked the same. This one is a little
it's like this one
darker.
say coral blue, but this one say blue. It's like, what's
Yeah,
the difference between coral blue
seafoam
and blue?
blue. Like, what's the
It's
difference between coral and seafoam? Well, one has a stronger arm. That's what. No,
like,
but yeah. So the NFL, I don't want to like. I just don't want to have to. I love the NFL. It's amazing, but let's just get to training camp first. Let's get to training camp. Get reports of how like they're there every day again. Right now, it's not time for that.
no,
They
I don't
barely
want
playing
to.
once a week, practicing once a week, not even
Yeah.
playing shit.
Yeah, get to like July when the
Yeah,
Chiefs is in St. Joe right now or something like that.
exactly.
Actually, it's mandatory for the veterans, not
Yeah,
rookie camp. And y'all
exactly.
think let's just talk about how the Chiefs aren't going to win
Because it's
or make
hot
the
in
playoffs.
Brazil
You
in
got hot,
September.
right, and you got hot takes like the Chiefs aren't even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's
It's
too
just
early
like,
for all
oh,
that.
the hottest take.
Like if you're
Yeah,
and
we,
if you're
we,
gonna talk about the Chiefs' offensive line as one of your main points, let's get to training camp and see who the starting left tackle. Let's see if like
I,
if
but
this is gonna work.
I'm just so confused on how you literally can't use the offensive line as like a downgrade or a disadvantage of us when anything could be better than what we had last year.
Yeah,
So it meant like, and we made it all the way to the Super Bowl with like 6 different lineups on the line.
yes, but that doesn't matter
So I'm just
because
so,
they play the
but I'm just so
Chargers in
confused on how
Brazil,
y'all can.
and it's hot down there.
And then
And you play the Ravens after, or you play the Ravens after the Eagles. They can't handle it. What
right,
will they do? They've had the number one seed schedule for 10 years. What are they gonna do
yeah.
with it again? Like, well, that's what pisses me
Maybe the
off.
Chiefs
Like,
do need to suck one year so we can get a fourth place
so people
schedule.
can see, like,
And
oh, this is
so,
what happens if you give them a cupcake schedule. They just go undefeated. We're like,
but we've had one of those before too. Let me guess. The year Patrick Mahomes. What? No, we still had a first place schedule that year.
yeah,
Every
it's
year we've
been
had a first place
yeah,
schedule.
it's nonstop.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, let's flip over. I just
Okay.
want to start
That was
by
our intro.
yeah. I just want to start. We're going to talk basketball now. I just want to start by saying I do not apologize. I hope Jason Tatum is perfectly fine. I hope that he can bounce back and be just as good as he's been. But I just want to start there with the Celtics. I also want to preface everything else I'm going to say by he had 40. He was killing. But
And they was losing.
they were all. I just also want to point out that they were already down 2-1 and actively losing the game when Jason Tatum got hurt. I just want to point that out before I.
And he actually actively got hurt from a turnover he committed. I don't want to.
Well,
Hey,
I was gonna point that out, but I just wanted to preface it all by saying they blew a 15-point lead again with Jason Tatum dropping 42 at the time, 42, 10, and 7 already, whatever he had. He was going nuts. He is we never on the show say Jason Tatum is a great player. He is a great player. He's not. He's just not like that. He's not the guy. And that's all my argument has been. The same way James Harden is a great player. But
he's just not the guy.
we never even remotely thought about saying James Harden is like that guy. Is he like up there with LeBron and did a kid he make it. We never even remotely considered that in it would have been 2015, 16, 17 when he was this age. So
Right.
my whole point was I wanted to put
James Harden never really got the. Is he going to be the face of the
no,
NBA
no.
and things on that nature? So,
But my point is I think James Harden is a higher level player than Jason Tatum is. But those are two of the all time great players at this point. Like if we're just going first 7, 8 years of your career, Jason Tatum is an all time great. That's not the point
right.
of me bashing him. The point of me bashing Jason Tatum is to point out how some players get shoved into a box and some players get hyped up and we just kind of skip over the little details. Jason Tatum they were up 15. The Knicks went up, what was it, 5 or 6 at the time. And me and you were actively texting. I said, hey, it's under 5 minutes. And as soon as I text you it's under 5 minutes, what happens? He comes down, no screen, and chucks a 3, bricks it. I text you, 0 for 1. 0 for 1. Here it goes. That's all I'm sitting there watching, thinking is like, here we go. We get to watch it in live action. And what do you know? Well, hold on. He comes down again. No screen. 1-on-1. Dribble. Pulls it up from deep, like extra, like 3 steps back deep. Pulls it up. 0 for 2. 0 for 2. And then it happens. But, you know, he like you said, like you mentioned, he threw the ball away. He just actively threw a turnover. So under 5 minutes starting, as soon as it ticked past under 5 minutes.
Clutch time came.
In a game that's within 5 points. They was just up 15. Now the game's within 5 points. The Knicks are actually up. 0 for 2, throws a turnover, and we all see what happened. He didn't just tear his Achilles. His Achilles blew out. Yeah. He ruptured it.
Yeah.
And that's rough. I hope he can get better, but it felt like really fucked up timing. But I dropped that video and all that shit, and then he just blows his Achilles out, and now it kind of feels unfair because it's like, man, like I didn't want him to go out there and just fucking lose 2 years of his career. Like I just wanted to point out how come we hold some people to some standard and we hold others to a different standard. It's a team sport. Football, basketball, these are team sports.
And then I just don't get how they spend. I don't think people really get the Boston Celtics spend $1 billion.
Yes.
On their starting 5.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. That's been my point.
So,
it's a team sport, guys. One guy can be bad, and the team can. In crunch time, one guy could be bad, and the team be good enough to carry him. That doesn't mean he's not great.
And they're literally built for a superstar to go down and still supposed to be a real top contender team because that's why they spent $1 billion+ on their roster.
And we've seen it actively in Game 5.
So it's just like
Luke Cornett stepped up. What the hell? Like
Derek White had 30. When you got 30. A dude that could just drop 30 when he off and then Jaylen Brown almost triple-double. And it's just like
he's out there unhinged, though. That shit, the little grab and twist is crazy. You a grown man hitting the grab and twist on another grown man in a basketball game is like that's nasty.
I just don't.
It's just bias.
The Celtics, even with Jason Tatum, I don't think after that game with or without Jason Tatum, I think they lose if Jason Tatum play. To be perfectly honest, because
they might. Because they not trying hard enough,
or because they pass more when he's not on the court,
and they can pass up. Like especially Derek White, there's a lot of shots he took that he would pass up if Tatum was out there, a lot,
right?
Because it's just give it to Tatum. We good. Just give it to Tatum. He can bail us out. He can make something happen, and you don't have that. Oh shit, we got to really play. We got to really run the sets. Like what we actually practice. We can't just give it to our all pro player and just let him dominate. Yeah, you can't do that. But
but it's also like one of those. I just don't. I'm just lost for words because the Celtics was supposed to, well, we gonna get on them, but they were supposed to. It was the East was supposed to be the East. It's like
Dominated.
we're just waiting for the Cavs and Celtics to match up.
Yes. And now
And granted,
neither.
the Cavs really, when we talk about injury, they really got, but they gave up leads even when they wasn't injured. Like,
Well, let's start. Let's go. Let's
yeah.
let's talk about the Knicks. Let's go to the Knicks. Like, so they actually blew it. Well, to be fair though, the refs got a little weird. The refs in
Brunson fouling out is weird because he do foul, but not like that to foul out.
He's not really a foul out guy, but like,
you know what they said, we're not finna let you close this game out in Boston. You want to close it, you got to go to Game 6, buddy. Like, he
what's
said,
fucked up?
Nah, 7 minutes left. We know what's about to happen.
Boy, no, you got to get out of here. You can't just close out a 15-point lead again, bro, or whatever it was, 20 at the time.
It was only like it wasn't when Brunson fouled out. It was only like 12.
Oh, I'm thinking of. Oh, it must have been after that. Then they ended up almost up 20 at some point, didn't they? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, because once Brunson fouled out, then you know that. Yeah, but it was only like a 12-point game at the point. It was like 7:50 left when he fouled out. I was like, damn.
They're like, nah.
They said no.
It need to be a little. Y'all need to be a 40 if we gonna leave you in. Like, you got to go.
Man, but the way he been playing.
Yeah, I mean, they did it 4 times.
And then Mikal Bridges ain't been no bum. Mikal Bridges been balling this series.
Oh yeah,
and then Cat got a quiet 19 and 13. His soft ass, but Cat is
weird, bro. I don't like. He
is like
weird.
the most unaware 19 and 13. You wouldn't know he had 19 and 13 unless you look at the stats.
Yeah.
Like, you would literally look at the game.
We already
like,
said this. We talked. It's so funny. Like, how did you get 25 and 14 with 7 assists? Where the fuck did it? What the? All I know is he's only been shooting people.
15%. He's only been shooting 15% from the 3. So which means he's been in the paint dominating. But I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's because they kept putting Tatum on him early on, and that's what was fucking it up. But
because Mitchell Robinson taking his spot,
he made free throws that threw me off. Mitchell Robinson making his free throws was crazy.
Man, you get your crazy little little stuff that goes on in the playoffs when that normally don't happen. Like, Mitchell Robinson, when do you start making 6 in a row? Stop playing with me.
Exactly. This ain't even you. There's no way this is the real you. They put a doppelganger out there. They put a clone out there. Something. You missed the goal. He missed the goal under the rim a few times.
How you damn near eye to eye with the goal?
And you shoot it under the net, bro. Just put your hands up. All you got to do is just shoot it like this, and you gonna hit something. You gonna hit the backboard or something, bro. You 7 foot.
I just never understood how you missed that bad though. At 7 foot, just
no touch.
You don't practice. Like, what's your muscle memory, bro?
So do we want to do the little first take? What happened? What do the Celtics do moving forward? Should they try to tank? Should they break the team up? What do they do now that Tatum is out for a year and a half? We can
get into that. We already said, I think we was going to get into it, or we talked about it. Porzingis getting traded.
I mean,
he's gone.
Trading for what? I'm not trading shit for Porzingis if I'm another team.
Somebody's going to take him.
Somebody probably will, though. You're right.
He got 1 year left on his deal. I don't know how much is owed for, but it'll be 1 year. He's 7 foot, and he's just injury or sickly. But if you load manage him, which I probably think he will get a load management next year, whoever gets him, he'll be, I guess, he'll at least help out during the regular season to get you in the playoff race. How about that?
Yeah.
For somebody. Like, he still can drop 20.
That's his cap hit next year, $30 million.
Yeah, he's getting traded.
But yeah, so who else do you keep? I guess you just try to keep Derek White. I guess is like the one that you try to keep.
Derek,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
because it's Jaylen Brown. It's next
Jaylen
year
Brown and Tatum is
53 or 54. Drew Holiday's 32. Kristaps is 30. Derek White is 28. And that's it. So, And
Drew
then everything
Holiday
else
and
is like
Porzingis.
10.
Yeah, Drew Holiday and Porzingis is gone. I think they keep the other three, and it's gonna be a lot of Derek White and Jaylen Brown.
Who are you getting for 35-year-old? Hold on, wait, how old is he? Hold on, let me go back.
Who? Drew Holiday
Yeah,
was
30.
32.
He's 34. So next year he's
34.
35. Who are you getting for 35-year-old Drew Holiday?
Might have to package their
30-year-old
ass together.
Porzingis. But I'm saying, who are you getting even if you trade both of them?
I mean, I feel like the Lakers would go get one of them.
I guess the thing to do would be trade them for like 4 players that are like lower. That'd probably be your best bet.
Or younger and
Yeah.
more role player, younger guys.
Fill
Like,
out a bench like a more of a rotation.
right. Well, I mean, they gonna need a starter somewhere in there because you gonna still have Pritchard. Pritchard's coming off the bench.
Yeah,
They know what
Pritchard
they gonna
stay on the
start
bench.
Cornette next year. I guess they got Hauser.
But that's
They
what I
like. I
mean.
mean,
You trade them and try to get like 4 guys, that like 2 vets and 2 young guys, and just hope that
right.
you can kind of fill. You know what? You trade for like with like the Wizards or something. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like let me get.
do you not trade? Do you
I don't
not
even
do
know who
like
they
a
got.
head up Calibi dude, whatever his name is?
Koulibaly? Nah, they're not gonna trade
Yeah.
Koulibaly. I was more so thinking.
What's your name? Why can't they go get like a Wendell Carter,
Yeah, yeah,
something like that,
yeah. That's
or
yeah.
one of the bigs from Dallas? Dallas don't like him. Never mind, he was already there. I was say, why don't you go get a big from Dallas? They got like 5 of them,
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
but they not sending back to Dallas.
But yeah, you trade with a team like them. You trade with a team like the Trailblazers. Get fucking
or
Avdia
right,
and fucking one of the young guys and kind of just fill some shit out.
I mean, anybody would probably be happy to go to Boston, to be honest.
Because what? This is Denny Advia.
Oh yeah, from the yeah.
Because that's
Or
what I think.
Klingman or whatever his name is, David Klingenman or what's his name?
Yeah,
He
Klingen.
played
Yeah.
for the Blazers. Yeah.
Because like somebody like that, he making $14 million. He's on contract for I think 3 more years, and he's shooting 37% and averaging 7. Like you just need to fill your shit out with like 4 instead of 2 guys making 60. You need 4 dudes making 15.
Right.
Like that's what they need to do. Just trade this out and just get some guys that are averaging 8 and play defense. You know, like that's what you need basically.
So, why don't they trade Drew Holiday for like a Vanderbilt from the Lakers?
Yeah.
Get him a point guard and get Vanderbilt, and there you go.
But it's like the fucking 60 million is crazy. That's why.
Yeah.
You're fucked. You're cooked.
They got to, or they go. Do you really? So what do you? I mean, they ain't got no money.
They ain't got no job. Yeah.
So they ain't got no money. So they got to trade, or they just gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna run it back," and then try to find somebody to take Jason Tatum's shoes.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that.
Now you just swap them out. Like I'm looking at the Utah Jazz. Like, would you like a Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen combo? Like swap them out for like a weirder version of the same player?
No, they're not giving up no young players for those old players though. That's gonna have to come with picks.
Who's young?
If
Colin
I'm
Sexton
giving you Lauri
20.
Markkanen is young too, ain't he?
Nah, he's got to be almost 30.
I haven't been hearing that.
Lauri Markkanen is 27. He turns 28 in a couple days. So, yeah, he's 28. Colin Sexton got to be at least around the same age.
Yeah. Probably.
26, 27. He's 26. Yep.
I mean, and then, so you trading a 26 and a 28-year-old for a 30 and a 35-year-old.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I'm not doing that. If I'm the Jazz, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I mean, unless I want to lose again. That's the thing.
Right.
Because Utah is in a weird situation. You got DeBansta coming out. For the last 2 years, he been playing in Utah. He about to go to BYU.
Right.
So if you want to suck all next year, just bring in Porzingis and your team will be built around Porzingis and Drew Holiday. You're gonna lose a lot of games if you do that. You're gonna lose a lot.
Yes. Who else would they have in Utah if they get rid of
John
Martin and
Collins
Sexton?
and,
Like
and
this.
Jordan Clarkson.
Oh God,
That's their
John
next
Collins be
leading
getting
scorer.
buckets, but
That's their
yeah, I know.
like,
I'm just saying he be getting buckets, but it's just like
Walker Kessler.
he was injury prone this year. Oh, they do got Kessler, don't they? He a walking dub. But
And they
that's
got the two
Porzingis. Why don't
younger.
you just?
And see
That's
that,
damn near Porzingis,
yeah, that's what I
except
mean.
minus the shooting.
Utah might be like this. Might be a good team to unload a contract on because like they got a whole young team. Isaiah Collier is there. Keontae George is there. Cody
Yeah.
Williams is there. Filipowski and Kessler. That's a whole team of dudes who are in their first or second year in the league, and they was like pretty good. Like most of them are like okay. Cody Williams is nobody knows. Like he just didn't do anything.
Isaiah Collier, man, that dude be passing the shit out the ball.
Yeah, that's what I
Boy.
mean. Like he's a real point. Keontae George, I'm probably a little small to play the two, but he can put in the
Yeah,
bucket when he needs to.
they got a lot of
Yeah,
guards.
Keontae George averages 17 points. I was not expecting that. He played 67 games. It's not like he played most of the season. So yeah, that's your 1-2. Yeah, we trading, swapping him out, let them old dudes get old, and just try to be bad and get the bench the next year. But yeah, Celtics are just in a weird spot. You gotta swap the old guys out for something.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah, yeah. Especially 30 million for him too. That's crazy.
30
They
million
really
a
gave
piece.
these men
Yeah,
after that. Yeah, no, they can't do that. Who's gonna take 30 million for Drew Holiday
exactly. That was my and it's not like they're
at
not.
35?
Yeah. And Porzingis got a whole nother year left. I think Drew Holiday has 2. So Porzingis has just next year left. So he'll be easier to get rid of. But Drew Holiday
Right, he's
has
easy to
two,
get rid of. It's a
2
1 year
years
rental.
and one more player option. So he
That's
could,
why.
ooh.
That's why I was like, Porzingis might mess around and he could probably still get traded to a team with a contender team because it's like a 1 year rental.
Yeah, he's a lot easier. Like him for Lauri Markkinen or shit.
Straight up.
Nah, you can't because Lauri Markkinen shit was like 40 something. Colin Sexton is the reason that trade worked because he's only making like 14 million. Yeah, so yeah, Porzingis is the one. Like trade him somewhere shitty. Trade him to the Trailblazers and get like just a solid guy. 2 guys making 12 million that can just kind of give you 15 and 10 combined off the bench or starting shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like two mid-level starters or bench players and a second round swap or some crap like that.
Ooh, it's tough.
First round swap.
But
I don't know. I gotta look at the teams because he's a 7'2". I need somebody who needs a big,
they
but not
not
like
gonna
a big,
have
like a post big.
The
like
problem is
like
they're not gonna. The Celtics need to get a big back because Horford.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Horford's
retiring.
probably. Yeah, Horford's gone. You're trading
Or you
Porzingis
gonna
now.
roll
You
with
need a big back.
Yeah, it was like,
No.
or you trade. That's why I'm like, go get Wendell,
No way.
a Wendell Carter or something. Somebody who's not really a scorer, but somebody who plays defense.
Or go get Giannis. Nah, they ain't doing that. But the Bucks would not do that, bro. You might as well. Nah, hell no. Nah. Yeah, you're just in a tough pinch because there's a lot of good teams. So we're really looking at like, is there an East team, a team in the Eastern Conference with a big that they want to get rid of that's willing to take on a shitty contract? There's not really there's no market for that. I'm looking at the teams now. The Nets. Are you trading Nick Claxton for Porzingis? No.
They're not giving up Nick Claxton.
The Bulls, are you trading like Vucevic for? They made the playoffs.
Hell
They
no.
almost made the playoffs. They're not
not
doing that.
Yeah, they're not trading Vucevic.
The Hornets, maybe. It depends.
With Mark Williams again?
Exactly. The Hawks. I don't see the Hawks taking on Porzingis.
Giving Capella?
Yeah, not maybe.
What? Not hell no.
Maybe
Capella. Who else?
If they just want to get rid of him.
Don't they got somebody else coming off injury? It's not a big man though.
The Wizards. Oh, Jalen Johnson. They're not giving up No.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, no. I'm just.
So then now we're on Western teams because all the other teams are the playoff teams. Raptors. Do the Raptors have a big they would give up? Probably not.
I mean, what about? I mean, the two teams that need a big that I mean, if they do want to, if they okay, so if the Celtics do want to
You like
go get
portal?
a free agent, if they want to go get a free agent big and somebody who's just there defense and can score a minimum, and they want to go get us and trade for like Porzingis, why not see if the Warriors want to give up Kaminga for Porzingis and work something out with that,
Ooh.
right?
No, because
They need a
uh,
big. They don't really trust Kaminga
nah,
like that. Give
Kaminga
him up.
6'8". That ain't gonna work. We need a real center.
But I know they can go get like a veteran big on the free line, go get a veteran minimum big or something.
I
Like
guess,
how they
yeah.
used to do in the big. You know
But
what I'm
I'm
saying?
pretty
Like
sure the free agent market is terrible.
never no. Well,
Okay, let's
if
move. Let's move.
DeAndre Jordan is still in the league,
You
like
know
what are
what?
we doing?
How about Porzingis for DeAndre Ayton? Y'all ain't good. DeAndre Ayton ain't doing nothing for y'all. Go ahead, cough him up. Maybe we throw in a pick. We get Ayton off your hands. Now we have a big.
Somebody injury for somebody who's just gonna be low
But
management
he
again.
26, so that's better than nothing. He averaging 14 and 10. He can hit
I
the
mean,
three every once in a while. He can step out, hit a
it,
three.
it, it is a once in a
Right?
while.
Oh, he's shooting 18% from three. Never mind. It's every once in a while. All right,
That's what I said. That's
a
a once
long
in a
while.
while.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do. Let's move on to
I'm not a trade machine. We just giving out theories,
yeah,
y'all. Like we don't know. We don't looking at contracts. We're not doing none of that. It's one of those fan trades that we just made up.
we just looking through shit. Who's a real MVP? Who's the MVP, man?
Everybody know who the real MVP is.
Hey, okay. I asked this question because I feel like I've heard on TV, on podcasts, on all the shows and stuff I watch and listen to. I feel like this is the most I've ever heard anybody preface. Shea should win the MVP, but we all know who the best player is. Like I don't. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like we
they've been
didn't
saying
do
that all
that with
year.
LeBron. Like everybody was like, "Well,
No.
LeBron doesn't deserve the MVP because of this, and this." And now we're not doing that to Jokic. We're like, no, Jokic probably deserves it, but we just can't give it to him. We have to give it
Yeah,
to
because this
SGA.
man, and because when they fired his coach, this man's literally coaching. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh, so he got to play. It's just like
literally
he got to
coaching.
literally him and Westbrook is literally coaching him through this whole playoff. I think the coach is there to just to be there in the face, but there's videos of them on the sidelines and the coach is just like letting them go at it. Like,
Just
okay, just
letting
do
Jokic yell at everybody.
it.
He
It's
literally
just
just
like
be screaming at him, like Michael Porter Jr. Swing the fucking rock. What is wrong with you? Pass the ball, bro.
So I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's like you want to give it to the best player in the world every year, but it's just like
I think,
you gotta go with it start getting numb when you see him do it every year. It's like when Pat was just Pat.
yeah,
It's just like, well, we obviously can't give it to Pat again,
we can't
right?
just keep giving it to him, even though he has
It,
like he's leading
it's
the
like
league and
LeBron. It's
shit.
like it's two vivid years where LeBron probably should have won everything. Like we just can't keep giving this man
I just don't like
15
that.
MVPs.
Give
Like
it to him. Why not? We like because then we have weird shit like Steve Nash has 2 MVPs because we decided like, oh, it's
that's why you
best
should.
team, and then we got to think about PER and who's on the best team with the best PER.
Well,
Like, no,
this is my
Kobe
thing.
was averaging 36 points, and we gave the MVP to Steve Nash. LeBron took a team to the finals on his own with Sasha Pavlovich and fucking
And
Zadrinas Ilgauskas and Drew
Ilgauskas
Gooden and shit,
and Mo Williams
and we
and
gave it to
Daniel
Steve
Gibson.
Nash. Steve Nash had a low. He had Amari Stoudemire. He had Sean Marion. He had Barbosa
He had
and
the
Raja Bell.
Richardson.
He had Jason. Bro, come on. What are we doing, bro? Look at what Jokic is doing right now, bro. He got Aaron Gordon, half of Michael Porter Jr.
It's man, look, it is half.
He
It's
got
definitely
half
half
of Michael
lemon.
Porter Jr. He has fucking Jamal Murray with a bum knee. One day he scores 50. The next day he can't buy a bucket.
It's 13.
You got Westbrook. You got old man Westbrook out there, and then Christian Braun. I ain't gonna knock Christian Braun. Just solid
No,
role
again,
player.
no, that's a solid. Why you ain't knocking Christian Braun?
I don't know. It's not because he played at KU. That's not it. No, it's not. Nah, it's not because he played at KU.
Ain't he from here too?
I think so. I think he might be. I'm pretty sure he is. Let's see. Let's see where he's from. He is from Burlington, Kansas. Oh shit. That's like 20 minutes from here or some shit like that.
Fuck is a Burlington, Kansas?
Or is it?
Was that damn near Paola or something? Is that the outskirts of Johnson County? What the fuck is a Burlington?
Damn, this shit not close. I can't even zoom out far enough. I can't even zoom out with the buttons far
My
enough.
my man in Flint Hills.
Nah, it's okay. It's like in between here and Wichita. Okay. So he
Good to know.
Kind of.
So he's not from here.
No, not really.
Y'all can claim him over in the Kansas side, whatever y'all like to do.
We'll take it. Fine.
But, okay,
we need some more, I guess. But no. You got Christian Brown just kind of there. The problem with Christian Brown is like he's not ever bad, but he's not ever really that good. He's just like I got 7, 4, and 5, and I'm shooting 40. I'm shooting 40%.
I occasionally might give you 15, like every 15 games,
and that's it. So he's just kind of like blah. But I mean, we just named 4 people on a basketball team, so it's just the starting 5 basically.
Yeah, well,
you barely
got
5.
Peyton Watson. When you got Peyton Watson and DeAndre Jordan, you ain't got too much of a bench to go to.
Putting Westbrook and Michael Porter Jr. together gives you 5 guys you can play with. versus Shea has Chet.
Every day bench
J-Dub, Hartenstein, Casey Wallace, Caruso, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins when he's hitting. Aaron Wiggins. Wiggins is hitting shots randomly, just in the corner, hitting 50% from 3.
When he plays his 5 minutes,
like what the fuck, Lou Dort. I forgot Lou fucking Dort.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
So
you 10 deep. You're at minimum. You're 9 deep.
This is what the NBA need to do. This is what the NBA need to do. If y'all really gonna change how y'all make it more physical in the playoffs and cut and start letting some shit go, then y'all should probably move the NBA awards to after the playoffs, because then you can really find out if your real MVP is really your real MVP. Because now his numbers were inflated because of free throws, and now we've seen once they start letting stuff go, those numbers dwindle a little bit. Meanwhile, Joker's still doing Joker shit.
Doing the same shit. I think,
and looks tired.
Yeah, he looks like he's worn the fuck out.
He's been. This is actually the most active I've seen him play in the playoffs.
Like full sprints, running around on defense.
Sprints, running around, jumping, animated,
trying hard
everything.
as fuck.
Like
because he has to do everything, bro.
Literally,
bro. To
the point where.
Go ahead.
I would say it's to the point where I don't think people has noticed this man ain't had a triple-double in a minute.
Well, he was playing bad those first couple games. Well, he had the 40
think he just stopped passing.
Well,
he was like, I'm going to have to start playing deep, like getting steals, blocks, rebound, and scoring. Like, who you going to who he passing to?
That's why he had 40.
Half of Michael Porter Jr., and then Russell, we already know Westbrook. We already know how he is. Like, he's streaky. Not than
Let me find this sequence, bro. There's a sequence where I'm pretty sure this nigga took like 7 shots in a row. Where he just said, "Oh, y'all just gonna chuck y'all." I'm pretty sure it was Michael Porter Jr. too that shot some stupid shit, and Jokic was like, "All right. We're not doing that. Like that shit you just did, we are not going to do that." It'll take me too long to find it. But I'm pretty there's this moment where it was like I think they called a timeout and he came back out and he basically just took every shot for like 5 straight minutes on they shit.
So
It's like,
basically,
oh.
Jalen Brunson in the last 5 minutes because
Jalen
that man
Brunson
dumping.
in all of every game, he don't even call he doesn't even call for a screen. He doesn't call for a pick, nothing. He's just out there ISO every other possession. But okay. Jokic. I mean, it's crazy. We talked about it last time. Yeah, like dude he's different. But SGA is gonna win the MVP.
Yeah,
That's just what happens now. Like you got too many. You already got you got 3 already. You can't have 4
3
MVPs.
already. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait a couple years, buddy.
But I think your idea is a good idea. Like, let's vote on the awards after the season and make it about the entirety of the season. Because I hate the idea of we do this and we say, well, these are regular season awards. Okay, but why? Okay, but they're not just regular season awards. When you look back in the history books, it doesn't say the 20. Well, it probably does, but like the 2025 regular season MVP. But we just call it the MVP that year. That's what we view it as. So let's just like you said, let's base it on that. Like, who's the MVP of this year, not just the 82 games? Because that shit cannot matter. Like, all that goes out the window when shit gets real.
Yeah, because then you got your 6-man. Somehow everybody's 6-man of the year just Todd Jerome.
Yeah, just disappeared.
Disappeared.
Coach of the year. The Cavs coach won Coach of the Year.
Right.
So you got the 6-man of the year, you got the Coach of the Year, you got the number 1 seed, and y'all lost to a dude who got 2 different voices. y'all lost to a dude who might score 10, who might go for 10 and 10, or might not miss a shot. But it just all depends. You guys couldn't pull 2 games out of that. With Halliburton only played good like 1.5 games. Like, he played good for half of one game and a full one game. Like, that's all he did.
I would say he played good in the fourth quarter of one game and then good this last game.
Fair.
Like,
that's fair. Yeah. So it's like, what you guys couldn't.
The first couple of games, Naismith and Siakam held it down.
Yeah.
And then Miles Turner definitely one of those games went stupid.
And I want to point out, we were right about the wrong person for the Cavs. Because we went at Darius Garland and his toe, and he was the only one where when I watched, I was like, his foot is fucked up. Like, he's just falling down. He just, like, losing balance, and he just looked like something is wrong. But Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter, what was wrong with them?
DeAndre Hunter wanted to fight Mathurin more than
he was the
basketball.
one with the thumb. Nigga, if you don't get to why the fuck you didn't play the other game? Why didn't you play game 3? That don't even make sense.
You know who else played through it? Mitchell. He looked every time he fell, he looked like he wanted to grab that leg, and he's just like, I can't do it. I can't show no wincing.
They showed him. I'm watching it League Pass, so they got the angle that like it shows from behind the players.
The back end.
It shows from the backboard. And so what they do, depending on which backboard you on, they show the bench of the team that the backboard is closest to. And I watched game 4 of the Cavs where I think they won. That's the one they won, right? Yeah. Did they get 3-0?
Yeah, because no. They won game 3.
So
it was 2-1.
They lost game 4, but they panned that shit. And this is when everybody but Garland came back, I think.
Yeah.
So they panned over every time they panned over the bench. Donovan Mitchell was just.
Wait, they lost in 5, right?
Yeah.
Garland came back in game 4.
Okay.
But he only played like 12 minutes or some shit like that. Because everybody sat out game 3.
So then it's game 3 then I'm thinking of. Because
they had 3 people sit out game 3.
So it was game 3 then. This was last week then. So he was so tired, bro. Every time they panned over to him, he is just sucking wind, just head in his lap. Every time out, every time.
That's the game he dropped 50 and they lost,
48,
right?
Yeah. And he was done. And then that's when that's why when they played the next game, it was like, okay, he's fried. Well, yeah, he's fried because he just had 50 and he's dying. He can't carry a team. The man is 6'1" with no shoes on.
But then Garland came back, get in foul trouble, and Donovan Mitchell had to
And
get
you got
back
to do
in
it
the game.
again. Yeah, like, so I feel bad for him. But yeah, like,
I don't know what was wrong with Mobley, but he had maybe one good game. Jared Allen couldn't score. I
yeah,
don't know, man. And we spoke highly of the big man, like, oh man, the two big man combinations is real strength um,
for Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland, especially because they were good defenders as well.
They're
But it
totally
seemed like
dependent on Garland getting them the ball, basically. That's,
orchestrating,
yeah, running the offense.
If he can't run the offense, we've seen that Ty Jerome struggles with it,
Yep.
and who's their backup point guard? Ain't that
It's
Ty,
Ty
right? Is
Jerome.
it
Yeah,
Ty
yeah.
Jerome? Yeah.
Basically,
And
when
he
they
just
asked Ty Jerome, like, you can't just come in and chuck shots on the second team. He fell apart instantly. When they're like, you cannot just come in and just, all right, just put up shots now. Because he was putting up. You go back and look at the type of shots he was putting up. We praise
Oh, you
people.
talking about when?
Go ahead.
I would say you talking about when Garland was playing.
Yeah. When Garland
Yeah.
was playing, his role is point guard, but in reality, y'all was up a lot, and you really was just coming in, being like James Harden. Hey, I'm just gonna put some shots up while all the starters are sitting down, and then maybe a couple of the starters come in, and I play with them, and all. But then now you're creating with Mobley, who kind of can do his own thing. Or you got Donovan Mitchell
Right.
out there with you, and he can do his own thing. And now we're asking you to step up. No, you need to be the secondary scorer, and he couldn't do that. It was like, yeah, well, this is what happens. Like, that's when we see, like, we got one guy who's really the guy averaging 15 and 10 is our quarterback. We can't play without the
Right.
quarterback. And I heard somebody say, "Oh,
But
Donovan
the
Mitchell,
thing,
he ran the show well while Garland was gone." Did he, or did he just try to score 50? He was just trying to score the ball. Yeah, he wasn't running the show.
but the thing about it is, it's just like I look at certain teams. A lot of teams have two point guards
Yeah.
and two guys that can orchestrate. Like I'm starting to
Yes.
think like the Pacers.
Yep.
Like they got Hallie, and then when they put him down, T.J. McConnell comes off, and he
Shit.
literally just
They got damn near 3 because sometimes it's just like give Nimhard the ball. Nimhard bring it up sometimes.
right, yeah, Nimhard too. So it's just like they have guys that can orchestrate that offense as well, and then even like let's go with the Miami Heat. Fucking Mitchell comes off the bench for them.
Yeah. Davion Mitchell.
And
Yeah.
that dude orchestrates the ball for them. So it's just like
Yeah.
I don't understand who orchestrated Cleveland not have a backup point guard when
It's supposed to be the 6th man of the year. That's the whole
no,
thing.
because Peyton Pritchard, you don't expect him to who's Boston's backup point.
They got Ty Jerome listed at shooting guard.
6.
So you really don't. So if you look at the team,
Who's they don't have a backup.
they don't
PG
have
then.
one. Like if you go off
So-
paper, technically it's kind of Ty Jerome because he's the leader of the second unit, but they
Right.
technically don't have a backup point guard. Like in there, when they look at their books, they don't have one, and that makes more sense now. Like Ty Jerome would just come in and chuck the ball because he's not a point guard.
He's a shooting guard.
Yeah, like that makes way more sense.
I don't understand why they thought that was gonna have no point. Did you think Garland was gonna play the whole game all day, every day? Like,
Let's see who was there.
even if they need a point guard, go get one from the Knicks. They don't even play half theirs.
Donovan Mitchell was 2nd in assists and
Yeah,
3rd
I
for
believe
their
that.
damn. That's it. 3rd for their team in
It's
assists
Mobley.
was Karis LeVert, and they traded him for
He
DeAndre
got
Hunter to play
hurt, didn't he?
defense.
Oh,
They traded him
True,
to
that's
Atlanta
right.
for Hunter, so because Hunter played better defense. But guess what? You don't have now a fucking guy to bring the ball up. You don't have somebody to play the
when
one.
your bench comes out.
Yeah, even
Right.
because Karis LeVert is like he's a 2, but
But he can run that offense.
yeah, If he averaging 4 assists in 22 minutes, yeah, that's your backup point guard. Like, that's crazy.
And
Yeah,
then plus,
so
I mean, obviously they didn't trade for DeAndre Hunter to run the offense because
no.
no,
I
no, you don't expect the dude coming in unless he like Luca, obviously, to come in and run the offense off of a trade.
I think to switch to the Pacers a little bit too. I think we're really seeing that the NBA now is the bench really matters. Like the bench is almost more. The league is so deep with great players that the bench is almost more important than anything else. Like the Celtics have like they have 5 guys. Before they lost, Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Porzingis, Horford is old manny, so he's like a half. But you got 5 great all-star level players, and then your bench is kind of Cornette, Peyton Pritchard,
Richard,
Hauser,
uh, yeah,
and then you look at the Knicks, and it's like, okay, they don't have a great bench, but
they don't play their
McBride
bench
is pretty good. Robinson is pretty good.
at what they do.
Yeah, like they have some pretty, and then you go to the Pacers. The Pacers bench is loaded with guys who can just come in and like even just do the thing that they do. TJ McConnell, perfect example.
Right.
Can't
Yeah.
shoot, doesn't want to score, but
Uh,
he's really good at the thing he's there to do, which is just run the second unit.
Yeah, and just run. Yeah, run straight to the goal and pass it out.
Yeah, just all you got to do is run the second unit,
This
bro.
man like a little squirrel, dude. Just everywhere.
Matherin not
Yeah,
starting. Just
Matthew.
come in
No,
and score.
and score.
We just need you to
He don't
score
pass. He don't get boards.
10,
He don't do nothing.
nothing. Just come in and get the ball on the wing and just drive. And every once in a while throw up a shot just to scare him off of you a little bit. But yeah, it's like
Yep.
all we needed. Obi Toppin. Hey, Obi Toppin. All we need to do is make 1 or 2 dunks a game and shoot a 3
Man,
to
play
space the
hard.
corner and get some rebounds.
and
And he's really good at that. So it's like you need this bench. Ben Shepherd, another other guard. Like they have 4 guys off the bench that are like
I mean,
pretty
and
good.
then what? And then it is very because you look at all the teams that are top heavy.
They struggling.
Look at the teams that's left.
Yeah, Warriors, Wolves. Like the Wolves are super deep. Also, you got Nas Reed coming off the bench. Like, what are we talking about? Nas Reed coming off the bench. Fucking
Yeah, DiVincenzo comes off the bench.
Even Alexander Walker is like
he's
cool,
decent,
but he
plays
off
defense.
The bench. But that's what is we talking about? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you got 3.
You need
That's
3 guys,
need.
like at least 3 guys coming off the bench.
I think at this point you have to have 3, unless you have Jokic. Then you can win.
Then you just need 5.
You if they had a 6th guy, they'd be very scary. But yeah, like and the Cavs, like we were saying, who the Cavs is Ty Jerome.
Max Stroud. No, Stroud start, right?
I think so, yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, he would.
No.
He would have to. Yeah. Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. So yes. So
it's Hunter and Jerome coming off the bench.
And Dean Wade.
Who else they got? Dean Wade, I guess.
Yep, that's who you Okoro. Like that's who that you see. We get too deep, and all of a sudden we're like, Dean Wade. Like that's your 3rd guy off the bench. That's not gonna cut it. And then you get to OKC. That's a whole different monster. They could play 5 guys off the bench if they really wanted to. But yeah, I think
they got everybody's picks and shit.
That's where we at. I think the league is really leaning that way. But do you think the Pacers, specifically Halliburton, do you think they can keep doing this? Do you think they can keep up, like, just beating good teams? Because next you're going to have to play the Knicks. And if I'm not mistaken, they've beaten the Knicks every time they play them in the playoffs for 30 years.
Who? The Pacers beat the Knicks?
I think so.
I mean, I don't. That
The
they go
Pacers
way back,
the Pacers knocked them out last year for sure.
right? Yeah, because the Pacers went to the ECF last year.
Mm-hmm. So last time they this is just wins. Fuck. Oh, Pacers win 4-3 2024 last year. 2013
Yeah.
Pacers win 4-2. 2000 Eastern Conference Finals Pacers win 4-2. 1999 Eastern Conference Finals Knicks win 4-2. 98 Pacers win 4-1. 95 Pacers win 4-3. So they've won one time. They beat
In the
them
last
in
20
30
years.
years.
30
95 was
years. Yeah,
30.
30 years. Yeah. My fault, boy.
Hey, so this your time. So it's really
I
the
mean,
Brunson show versus a full team. Who you liking
yeah,
there?
well, I,
Cat
I think
versus
if
Miles
if they if
Turner.
they if they if they match up, I guess we got
Yeah.
to go if because
Oh
they still
yeah.
playing. I'm gonna go Pacers.
I'm with you. I think I'll hit you. I
I
just
think I'm going
can't.
Pacers.
But I hope
I,
I hope I'm not
but I
blinded.
do kind of want to see. I do kind of want to see like a Minnesota
Knicks.
Knicks finals just because of the
Yeah,
trade this offseason
that would be
and
crazy.
Julius Randle going back to the Garden after everybody thought, and then Cat
Cat.
going back to
Oh,
Minnesota.
DiVincenzo having to play against that damn
DiVincenzo,
commercial come on every fucking every time.
every
It's a timeout. Oh,
but I think it'll end up being whoever win OKC, Denver, and um, the Pacers. But I think both them teams are gonna be whoever come out the West is gonna be dog tired. Pacers are gonna be. I don't know. I just feel like
I hope the Nuggets
I
win.
think Cat
I want to
Cat
see
gonna be foul trouble.
I want to see Nuggets Knicks too. Nuggets. I want to see the Nuggets play one of these teams just to see how funny that shit will be. It will be so weird. The Nuggets. If the Nuggets
The
beat the Thunder,
Nuggets
they're not getting
playing them.
past the Wolves. Be fair, but that would be
You
like
think
Nuggets Pacers would be. I think just
Wolves
fun.
Pacers will be weird.
That's a weird matchup too. Like there's a lot of Knicks Wolves is the best like on paper matchup right now because Knicks Thunder is also like we got 10 guys versus 6 guys. That's gonna get rough. Same with the Nuggets, but
They're gonna run them out the gym.
at least
Knicks Thunders,
yeah, that's wrong. But at
they're
least
gonna run them out the gym.
if you had Knicks Nuggets, at least it's like okay, we only have 5 guys. Well, we only got 5 guys.
You
We
want to
got
play?
one guy who's got to score all of our points. Wait, we got one guy that's got to score all of our points. Like
But
that's
one's big, one's 7'2", and
and
one's
one
six foot
small.
one.
So like that would be a fun one. Like matchup wise, Thunder Pacers could be cool.
Do I really want to see Cat foul out every game against Joker? Because that's what he's gonna have to do.
No, but you got Mitchell Robinson too. Mitchell Robinson will be there to help, so you can play both of them together and kind of somebody got to sit. Like OG probably got to go. You got to go sit down for
Off the bench.
yeah. Or
No, I
maybe
don't think
we
they're gonna
just
do that.
we swing
We
a.
can't play both of them at the same time, and they both get 2
That's
fouls, and
true.
both of them get 3, and now I got to bench both my 7-footers.
But I feel Cat holding Aaron Gordon feels a little easier, right?
Aaron Gordon been in his bag lately. I don't know,
True.
boy.
Yeah, he
I
gonna
don't know.
mix
This
him
man,
up.
that man,
He gonna
his
mix him
bag.
up
I don't know about that.
crazy.
This man doing step backs and dribbling behind the
All of a
back. I
sudden,
don't
Cat
know
get
about
the oh my
that.
god, grabbing his jersey and shit.
Aaron Gordon dropped 25 on Cat right now, boy. I'm
Oh fuck.
sorry.
Oh
No,
man.
I don't know, man. Like,
This is
okay,
I like this though. This is more
yeah.
fun. It's more fun
No, I
this
like
way.
it, but I mean, so many narratives. Just like
Yeah.
Denver, OKC, I guess. But
Yeah.
I just think it's the best.
There's no like. Obviously, we want to see Steph versus LeBron 10 years ago. There is not that. There's no
Right.
version of that. Even the teams, the way they match up, they don't all match up great. It's not like rock paper scissors. None of them match up with each other in a good way. Like it just depends on who's
No.
gonna take advantage of their thing better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it just always goes back to, do they got somebody that can contain Joker?
Yeah,
He's just really that good to me. And it's just like that's when you said Denver Minnesota matchup.
yeah. Like I
Denver not gonna win. I'm like,
to
who
me,
gonna fucking hold Joker? Gobert, weak ass.
yeah. The scariest thing to me is Knicks Thunder, and we just watch Brunson barely be able to score 20 a game because they just put 5 people on him. Think about what they can do. They can put Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Kason Wallace on him at all times for
At
the
all
whole
times,
game.
yeah.
There's somebody
I don't
fresh
know.
on him
I'm
the
at the point
whole
where
game.
I just think I'm at the point where I just think he a bucket.
He is,
I
but
don't know. I
it's
don't care
tough
who
when
the,
you
I
got
don't
somebody
care who
with
the fuck.
fresh legs on you every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Somebody
Okay.
with
Well,
new legs is on
well,
you.
if it's Knicks OKC, and Cat needs to be, if they win, Cat's going to have to be Finals MVP, because there's no way
Yeah,
Hartenstein's
keeping up with
there's no
you.
way Chet should be.
And
And then
Chet too
Chet is
small.
small, bro.
Yeah.
Cat will have that 19-13 is not going to cut it. He's going to have to average at least like 24, 25, and 13. 25 and 13 is what he's going to have to do
Yeah.
against OKC if he plays them.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Or they're not going to win because they too guard heavy, and they wing players are the best defenders.
Maybe it is a good matchup now that I look at it because you got Mikal Bridges and OG that you could throw at SGA. It really would come down to the big man. It really would come down to Mitch and Cat versus Jet and Hartenstein. Who's gonna like do more? Because our guards are locked up. Because we both have 2 or 3 wing defenders we can throw at our best players.
And then Cat is an average defender.
Yeah,
but I think he can hold Chet on the wing.
you're probably right. Honestly, it's not like Chet is just like super explosive or something where he can't like just stay in front of him. So yeah, it's just a vertical threat. He's
and then Mitchell. Hartenstein ain't got no. But they both 7'2".
Mitch and Hartenstein, I feel like just kind of block each other out.
X each other out.
Yeah, like
they both just whoever get the most boards win today. Like
just offensive rebounds. Just y'all need to box each other out. This is 4-on-4. Y'all just wrestle in the corner. Just go wrestle each other in the corner or something, and like let us play.
Go arm wrestle over there, and we gonna play 4-on-4.
Get an offensive rebound and pass it out. That's all they both gonna be doing.
Hartenstein can pass though, so
Mitch can too. Mitch leads. I'm pretty sure Mitch leads the league in offensive rebounds.
Yeah, in rebounds and free throw attempts.
Yeah, he's sneaky.
Mitchell Robinson sneaky.
No, the free throw attempts to fuck me up. Because that's not for a good reason though that he leads in free throw attempts. But,
right.
But he's sneaky a good passer because he's getting a lot of offensive rebounds and he got to kick it out. And he's making great decisions. Not great decisions.
Right.
He's making good decisions consistently. Or they wouldn't be winning.
Well, when you got Mikal Bridges, Brunson, Cat, and OG around you, somebody's going to, just get it to somebody in a blue and orange jersey, buddy.
Really just find Brunson. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
That's the hardest one to probably find on the court. Where's the little nigga at?
True.
It's like, he's somewhere running around looking at you like clapping his hands in a corner.
Oh, man. We asked is Julius Randle good now? Sure.
I don't
know. Like,
was
what
he
is
bad?
Good?
That I don't.
What do we call good? That's my question.
Good get you a max contract. So I don't know in the NBA no more. Like
because
people he's doing what he's.
Go ahead.
I would say he's doing just as much for the Wolves as Cat's doing for the Knicks. Yeah. So if Cat doing good, then I guess Julius Randle's good,
but
right?
People based this off of saying that Julius Randle. Let me go look. his regular season versus his playoff career
the,
shooting averages and shit drop, and it's only
yeah.
50% this year. But he only was in the playoffs twice ever. He's played 15 total games in the playoffs his whole career. And so that was my thing when people were saying that, and I was just
Well,
listening, being like,
I,
"Yeah, it
I
dropped, but
think
he
they were
only
saying
played
that.
twice."
Well, I think they were saying that because he was supposed to be the ace on
Yes,
those playoff teams. That's why I think they saying, okay, we had
fair.
a big enough picture. You played 15 games as a leading scorer, and you couldn't do what you were supposed to. But I mean, that being the number two guy on your team with Ant or three. Wait, who else on the team? Would he be the number two scorer on that team? Who else is on his?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
think
I would
so.
say he's
Yeah,
the number two.
but he
I
didn't.
mean, he's the number two. Just like
He missed a bunch of the year too.
I mean, just like Cat though. Cat is the number two.
Yeah, Julius Randle's averaging 18. Nas Reed is third leading scorer with 14. Yeah, so he's def for sure the second option. Like, not even close.
Right.
Yeah, he's taking.
So I mean,
I guess Nas Reed is taking
he's
the
not
same
a
amount of shots, but
the basically is to me is more of since he was Julian Randle drafted lottery pick.
yeah, oh yeah, he was.
It was lottery pick to the Lakers, right?
Yeah,
So it's just like it was this unbuilt expectation as a lottery pick, guys. Like, and you in New York, you got to be the ace in New York, and he's gonna bring New York basketball back. And when the playoffs came, he didn't do what he's supposed to. But some guys are just not. They're not the number one option. They're just real good number two options. That's why it's just like the number two receivers in the league. It's just
yeah.
like he's real good at number two, but every time that number two goes and try to be a number one receiver, he just doesn't pan out like he's supposed to.
You know what it
It's just
really
like
is?
some of those guys are just
It's they lost. They lost to the Hawks. His first ever playoff series, they lost to the Hawks. He shot 29% from the field. And I think
was he shooting? What was he 1 for 3 every game? Because
nah,
ain't
he
no
was
way
he
you
was
shoot
taking
15 shots.
he was taking 18 shots basically a game.
A man was making 4 of them.
Yeah. 6 for 23, 8 for 21, 7 for 19, 5 for 16, 2 for 15. That's all 5 games. They lost 4-1 to the Hawks. And that's that Trae Young year where they went to the fucking conference finals. They lost in the first round,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And I think since then that's the narrative. And that to me, that's kind of the point I was making to round all this off. With Tatum, where it's like we put these things on players, and
Yeah.
if your first impression is like the impression you leave with most people, and I feel like you just grow out of that. And that was kind of my thing. Where I was like, he's played. This is the third year he's played in the playoffs ever. He played in 2021. They played in 2023, and they lost to the Heat, who went to the finals.
And because there's no added pressure, everybody look at him like if he was still the number one option and he was only dropping 20, people would still think the same of him. But if he dropped 15, and it's no pressure on him no more, so he all he needs to do is drop 15.
That shit is just so
Like because
sad.
it's on
yeah.
Ant.
True. Now, yeah. So
Like,
if you score 22, it looks a lot better when you hit 2-3 threes in a game versus when you were shooting 25% from the field on fucking turnaround post shots. Yeah.
And we need you to be the guy that.
But that shit, that's my whole thing is what, how old is, let me see. He is 30. So we talking about 4 years ago. We talking about 2 years ago. Okay, the Miami shit. All right, whatever. Like, but a lot of teams lost to Miami, right? So that's not. They lost to the guys that beat everybody. Before that, he was 25. Like, it just feels weird to be like, oh, this guy's he played in 12, whatever, 15 playoff games. Like, that's who he is in the playoffs. It's like, okay, that's a lot different than Harden having 150 playoff games and having 60 failures. You know what I mean? Like, this dude played 15 playoff games. He was bad in 7 of them. Like, he can flip that around. That's a very easy thing to flip around. that's why it's like, oh, people are like, well, is Julius Randle
But now
good
people ain't
now?
gonna.
Ugh, like he's
But
been
now ain't
good.
nobody gonna trip about his playoff,
Nah,
how he plays in the playoff now because he's. They don't, that's what I'm saying. They don't look at him like that no
nah.
more.
And that's what's so funny is like it's just so funny. One like for somebody like Tatum, one doing what they did with the Knicks 2 different times, people just still are like, he's a great player. He's clutch too. And you're like, no, he's not. It was like, yeah, well, look, yes, he is. It's like, well, he just failed 2 more times. It doesn't matter. But if Julius Randle, whenever they play, if he game one of the Western Conference Finals goes 2 for 14, he's never gonna live it down. Like that's gonna be who he is forever. Even if he wins them this damn near wins them the series, if they don't win and he has that one game, it's stuck to him. It just seems silly that we just don't like really. It's just nobody goes back and looks. We just have an
No,
idea of what we think about somebody, and we just that's it. Michael Jordan was the GOAT, and motherfuckers
yeah,
are
basically.
50, 60 years old being like, well, that can never change. It's like, well, hey, pal. Eventually, we got to give this thing up. Like, there's, like, okay, cool. But what are we basing that off of? I don't want to get into that. Let's finish up with the Mavericks got the number 1 pick. What is
Yeah.
this? Is it rigged? Is the NBA lottery? The lottery is rigged, right? You can't tell me Cooper Flag wins it after the Mavs trade Luka. You also can't tell me 2019 the Pelicans got forced to sell the team. No. That was the other one.
Mm, talking
Pelic
about the when they traded AD to and got Zion.
okay, there we go. But before that, they also the ownership sold the team and the NBA owned the team and they got the number 1 pick that got Anthony Davis. And then the year before that,
Right.
2011, LeBron left the Cavs and they got the number 1 pick and got Kyrie. And there's just like this, it happens all the time in the NBA where like the Warriors winning the number 1 pick that year was odd. That's weird. You guys are like in the middle of a dynasty and you have one bad year and you just get the number 1 pick. That's weird. The number 1 pick where there happens to be the one need that you have is the number 1 prospect, a 7-footer that can dribble and pass the ball. That's crazy. But it's like this is the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and now you get Cooper Flag.
And
Like, go ahead. What were you about to say?
no, I was just I was just saying I was agreeing.
It's like, yeah, now we're just. I don't even know what to think about this. Like, they
But
jumped.
does he go to Dallas or do they trade the pick?
If they trade the pick, I don't see how they shouldn't have a team anymore. If you trade the pick and you don't get Giannis, you should just trade your team. If you telling me they trade the pick and they get Giannis
Just
and they want to win now, then cool. But
and give the one pick
Kyrie tore his ACL in like March,
right.
so he's cooked the same way Dame
They'd be
and
too
Tatum are
fucking
cooked.
big.
They're out.
They
He's
can
out.
they can't be they can't trade Giannis. That team would be too damn big.
So what are you gonna? So you just let Cooper Flag come in? Cooper Flag didn't even
But
look
that's still big
happy.
too. He's 16. Right.
That shit was hilarious. He looked upset, like fuck, like this is my life. I'm going to Dallas. I gotta live like my legacy is behind Luca. Yeah, I don't. If they trade that shit, then they don't deserve. Move the team to Vegas. It's over. You guys don't deserve a
I'm
team.
just
Like
but
this.
so he gets I mean, yeah, you trade the one pick for I mean, but do you want to go to Milwaukee
I mean, I'd rather go to Milwaukee, and they at least have a
and
track record
follow
of.
Giannis?
Yeah, they have a track record of being able to put together a real team. Just not recently, but they did. They tried to get
No, the
Dame.
reason they never put the real team together is just Giannis was so great. He won a
True,
final.
but I mean, I don't
It
know.
wasn't really no.
Do you want to go
I
to
don't. I mean,
Charlotte? You know, do you want to go to fucking
no. I'm just saying his only
Washington?
options. No, but his only options probably is for Giannis, which would be Milwaukee or Dallas. So if I had to choose,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I don't know. It's not. I don't know. It depends on what they, because Yeah, I don't know. You're in a bad. Either way, you're going to a team where the point guard is not going to play next year. Kyrie has an ACL. Dame has a Achilles. You're going to a team where like you're handicapped because one of your highest paid players we can't trade and rebuild because they're hurt. So you're stuck. He's. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I guess you just hope that
Cooper Flag, AD, and Gafford, PJ Washington.
that don't sound good. And I think what a lot of people don't realize if you haven't watched college basketball is Cooper Flag is not a he's not really a wing. He's really more like a 4-3.
He's a forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a 2-3.
Who thought he was a wing?
I think there's a lot of people that are like he's a big wing, like people that are not even casual.
6'9", 16.
But
what
like,
is he? 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", right?
But I think people see him as a mobile, fluid 6'9" guy that can do everything, and he's not that. He's kind of stiff offensively, and he can't dribble great. I mean, enough. If he's playing the 4, it's amazing. But like to play the 2 or the 3, like he could hold people.
I don't think he'll be able.
To,
I don't think he'll be able. Yeah, he'll be. He's gonna have to, but I think he'll have to be. He's not holding a wing player out there. You're not gonna put him on the 2 all game and think he's gonna be able to hold a guard like that all game. I think he would probably excel the most at the 3. 6'9", maybe the 4 because he can.
Because he's really he can. His best attribute is help defense, the blocks, sliding and getting and doing that, and basically like getting. And his offensive game is kind of like Kawhi Leonard, which Kawhi is kind of like 3-4 more than 2-3, but he can hold the 2 too. Right. So that's where it's like he's in that same.
But Kawhi's defense is better.
Yeah, he's in that Kawhi mold of like he can't really do everything. Like it's like an illusion that he can do everything because he can shoot, he can handle the ball, but it's not good. It's not like a great. It's not a high level. He's like a C at those things, and he's like an A+ at like these connecting things, passing, playing defense, rebounding, like, and then all this other stuff is like okay, like he can do that. I just worry that he's hyped up a little
I think he'll be a good. I think he'll be a good NBA player. I'm just stuck on, real quick. Why do we always do this every year? Like we don't watch college basketball all year. The 2 and 3 pick gotta go because they was projected to go lottery 2 years ago, and now we just have to put them in the lottery because that's where they projected at.
Yeah.
It's just like, did we not watch these guys play at Rutgers last year? Or we just gonna give them a fucking contract in the NBA because y'all expect them to be NBA players?
I think it's just the skill set. It's just that's all people are basing this off of. Like skill set, because they're comparing Dylan Harper to James Harden and Dwayne Wade. Those are his comparisons right now. And it's like, wait, what? Is that what we're doing?
One of the best scorers in the NBA ever, and one of the best two-way guards in the NBA ever.
It's funny because
we're just gonna be like, yeah, okay,
it's funny because I was thinking, and I don't want to do this just because he's white, but like when I was thinking of Cooper, I was thinking, would he if his best is an upgraded version of Gordon Hayward with like A+ defense, would that be bad? Would you take that? 25
without the injuries though. Yeah.
Taller, more athletic, longer.
Yeah, but Gordon Hayward didn't go number 1.
No, but I'm saying like that player. I think that's who. He
is.
I
know. I'm just saying like even if Gordon Hayward came out that year, he was good at defense. Do you think he goes number 1? I don't think so.
I mean, he went top 10. I'm looking at it right now. I
know he went top 10.
But I think
he was lottery for sure.
I think that's probably the vein of player that he is. Like that guy, just with a better defensive.
So who has the top 10 picks in the NBA draft?
It is off the top of my head. Is Mavs, Spurs, Sixers, Hornets. Jazz.
So do the Spurs use the number 2 pick as well to try to get?
Some people say yeah. I personally think that they just take the young guy. You got a core that you building right now. Wimby, De'Aaron Fox, Sohan,
Because Ace Bailey
Castle.
is six. How big? What is he? He plays the forward, right?
He would be scoring. He'd be a three probably, yeah, because he's 6'8" with shoes on. Because he measured in at
I'm
six
trying to
seven and a
think of. I'm trying
half.
to think of their roster. Like, do they? I feel like they
They kind of
overloaded on
need
one
a
position.
three. Because I mean, Keldon Johnson is kind of like he's a
Oh,
he's
Keldon
six
Johnson.
five. Like they're kind of they need. I don't know. They don't really need Dylan Harper, and they don't really need Ace Bailey.
No,
So do you
no,
just
they don't.
get some more
I'm saying
picks?
like it
Ugh.
because they got De'Aaron Fox is out for a minute too, right?
No, he had
Didn't he
like
hurt his
a
like Achilles or ACL?
no. I think he had like some. I think he had one of those like you got to sit down for a minute injuries. We trying to tank injuries.
Oh, yeah.
He underwent. Oh, come on, bro. He underwent season-ending surgery in March to repair a tendon in his left pinky. That's one of those go sit down injuries. Hey, my pinky been
All
sore
right,
for 4 months. Like, all right, it's time to shut you down. Just go, go get the surgery,
right.
and we gonna lose the next 25 games.
Pinky surgery is crazy. I'm
Yeah,
sitting there looking at mine like,
I mean, Kobe had that shit
all
where
right.
he broke his whole shit, and all he did was, and that was just his shooting hand too, and he just taped it to the other finger, and I'm pretty sure they won the championship that year. He was their leading scorer. So, again, hand injuries. It's a weird basketball is a weird thing with hand injuries. It's kind of tolerance at that point because you're not really using it all ambidextrous, especially pinkies. Like you're not using that very much. Thumb. We went over that. Like how much are you really using your thumb playing basketball? Like
Yeah, well, try having a fractured thumb and holding a baseball bat since
that's
y'all like
different.
to
Yeah,
talk
hell
about
no.
bat, and then it hits and you just ringing.
Oof. But yeah, I feel like that's a good place. Good stop. Good pod.
Shout out! Oh wait, the top who the top 10 real quick.
Let's see. I got it right here. Mavericks, Spurs, 76ers, Hornets, Jazz, Wizards, Pelicans, Nets, Raptors, and the Rockets. That's your top 10.
Hmm.
And the Spurs also have the 14th pick, by the way. So they could do a little something with that.
I was just trying to see if anybody up there needs a. The Cavs not in the top 10, right? You didn't say
You
the
trying to
Cavs.
figure out where Ace Bailey is going? I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out where Knipple is going.
Oh, Knipple, man, the Utah gonna draft him probably.
Ain't they tired of white boys there? White
No,
big
that's what
dudes
they
that all
want.
just
That's
that
all
all
they
the six
want.
seven white boys that
Yeah,
handle the ball and shoot and play
that's
defense. Like
all they
what? That's
want.
it's like hey, and then sprinkle that one token black guy. You just run the offense and get it to the other guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's your job.
Ugh.
Okay,
Yeah, like
Molly.
Malawatch. Where does Malawatch go? Probably Hornets, if I would imagine. Because unless
Don't do.
the Mark Williams, you're gonna keep doing Mark Williams. I mean, you can.
No, he'll probably go. Ain't he a free? He's not a free agent this year, is he?
I don't know.
Right, watch the Lakers just sign him. Just like, why didn't y'all just keep him during the
Boy.
trade? They just go,
Uh, hold on. Yep, restricted free agent. So yeah, but
all
no.
right, whatever. He's a free agent. Yeah, okay. They
So
not
yeah,
keeping that man.
Malawatch could go forward, and yeah, it's just hey, we're just gonna replace you with a bigger.
Another 7-2 guy.
Yeah, we just with a
Well,
bigger center. Yeah, basically do the same shit. Probably a
uh,
little better touch too. Honestly,
probably got a bigger bag that nobody know about either. Though, to be
I mean
honest.
that's yeah. I mean look at Joel Embiid. I watched Joel Embiid at Kansas, and I would have never guessed he was gonna be 30-10 for 7 years, like, and win an MVP. I didn't know he wasn't doing
It's
none of that
easy to
at
average
Kansas.
30 when you only. It's easy to average 30 when you only play 30 games.
True. Hey, he
No, I'm just
played
talking
he
shit.
played 70 something when he won his MVP. All right, but
I
yeah,
guess.
that's it, man. I need to go eat. So I hope you
Mm-mm.
guys enjoyed this podcast, and we will see you next time.
Peace.